We begin this morning with breaking news. Rockford fire crews are investigating a home explosion. Our 13 WRX's Dylan Valencia is live right now from the scene. Dylan, I know you've spoken to fire officials. What have they been telling you?
Yeah, Manny, well, it's a shocking scene. I arrived just 45 minutes ago. If you see behind me right here, moments ago, a house was standing. Now, the call came in. What they confirmed that it is a gas explosion. The call came in shortly after 1 a.m., and crews have been out here all morning trying to just clean up the area. Now, what we can confirm is that no one was injured and no one was living in the home at the time of the explosion, but the house right here on the side did receive some extensive damage as well. They had to evacuate their home. Right here in the area, all gas and electric is turned off. We are on 15th Ave near Kishwaukee Street, and I did get a chance to speak to Rockford's arson investigator, and he told me exactly how the moment unfolded when they arrived on scene a few hours ago.
Roof was entirely blown off the structure. The front of the house was shot forward. Several cars in the area were damaged. The stuff that happens at a fire at an explosion like this is pretty catastrophic. One of the good things about it is actually most of the fire typically does get extinguished by the explosion itself. There was some fire here that we had to work, especially with the excavators when they showed up in order to extinguish, but thankfully no one was injured either in the fire department or civilians.
Just a very shocking scene right here. Crews are still here working. Nicor Gas is here. Common is here working consistently, and they blocked off this road right here. But for now in Rockford, I'm Dylan Valencia with 13 WREX.
Rockfordian born and raised. And such a tragic event does not represent this community. This cuts you at the root. I can't imagine what the families are going through.
They were doing what we all do. What you should all be doing. It's spring break. You have 3 girls watching a movie? I can't even comprehend that.
Heavy hearts continue to stay with us this morning. I'm Manny slipping on. Emotions are running high just 2 days after a horrific attack unfolded in Rockford, leaving 4 dead and several more hurt. This morning, we remember the victims you see here on your screen. 63-year-old Ramona Schubach, 23-year-old Jacob Schubach, 49-year-old Jay Larson, and the youngest victim, 15-year-old Jenna Newcomb. Right now only marks the beginning of the healing process, with many trying to understand how and why this happened. A judge denied pretrial release for the man they believe carried out a series of stabbings and attacks Wednesday afternoon, 22-year-old Christian Soto. Right now he's facing 13 charges, including 4 counts of first-degree murder, 7 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and 2 counts of home invasion. Now, those attacks happened on Holmes Street, Eggleston Road, and Cleveland Avenue. Court documents showed he lived on Upland Drive, which is in that same neighborhood. During a press conference yesterday, officials went into devastating detail about what happened to each of those victims. Christian Soto's friend and the mother found with stab wounds. A male carrier also stabbed on the job and later passed away at the hospital. And the 15-year-old with her friends on spring break just watching a movie. They were attacked with a softball bat, her mom calling her a hero for protecting them.
Our community must continue to come together and lift each other up. Unfortunately, we have been here before. We've experienced great loss, and we've shown tremendous strength and resiliency by supporting one another and coming together.
Prosecutors say Soto admitted to the attacks and was allegedly under the influence of marijuana that was laced with narcotic before the rampage. The Winnebago County State's attorney believe there could be more charges later down the road, and Soto could be back in court April 2nd to determine if he will continue to be detained. Meanwhile, another big takeaway from yesterday's conference, the amount of people looking for mental health support. Rockford Police Chief Carla Red said more counselors were called to Flint Middle School.
This community is grieving, and I love this community. Many people love this community, and we're hurting, and anything we can do as an organization to ease some of that grief or that burden, just an ear to listen to is important.
These resources provided by RPS 205 and Rosecrans will continue today as well, starting at 9 this morning and ending at 5. Now, these vital services and community events serve a big step in the process of healing, and one tradition has a deeper meaning this time around. Our Dylan Valencia joins us live from the Emmanuel Episcopal Church in Rockford this morning. Dylan, what are faith leaders doing to observe Good Friday, but during this difficult time as our community finds ways to heal?
Well, Manny, I think what yesterday's visual really shows is just how devastated and heartbroken our entire community is after learning about these tremendous incidents. But I also think it showcases just how close-knit we are as a community and how we come together stronger, especially when it comes to faith. Like Manny, you just mentioned, just a few days before Good Friday, Easter weekend, it's looking a little different this year, but they are having their annual event. Rockford Urban Ministries today at 9 a.m. will hold their 35th annual Good Friday Walk for Justice, and it comes at this very heart-gripping moment. Now, this Walk for Justice will begin with prayers and a moment of silence for the victims we lost on Wednesday's attack. It'll leave from the church parking lot to 4 different locations throughout Rockford where prayers will be offered on a variety of topics, and the entire event will last a little more than an hour. And again, we are remembering those lost, and the church is saying if you need help in this time of need, to reach out to the church.
I think we need to address them and talk to people, and we pray for the victims. We have quite a long, unfortunately, a long prayer list, but we remember the victims. And we don't minimize someone else's pain. If someone says, I'm in pain, we listen and we find them some help. So that's the other piece of it. To not just acknowledge it and walk away, but to acknowledge it and say, how can I help you?
We want to pull up some information for you on your screen right now. This event starts today at 9 a.m. and then there's another vigil that will be held tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. at that same intersection where the other one was held, Eggleston Road and Charles Street. But definitely a very difficult time. A lot of us still in shock, but I'm happy to know that our community comes together and is coming together like this in this very difficult time. We'll have more details as they become available. For now in Rockford, I'm Dylan Valencia with 13 WREX.
Just family. She was my confidant, my rock. And although my little sister, she always had a way of taking care of me.
Deputy Christina Muscle, you are a true hero. You will not be forgotten, and your memory will live on through your family and your brothers and sisters in blue.
Heavy hearts are with the family of a fallen DeKalb County deputy this morning. There wasn't a dry eye inside the NIU Convocation Center yesterday as hundreds gathered to say goodbye to a sister in blue, an Army veteran, and a mother of 3. Only 35 years old, Deputy Muscle was killed after a truck slammed into her squad car last week. News of her passing sent shockwaves across the state line, and support from the community spoke loud and clear yesterday when friends and family and members of law enforcement traveled near and far to pay their respects, including a retired FBI agent.
Law enforcement doesn't stop, and because I'm not out with a gun and badge every day now, you still have to show respect. And like I said, the solidarity, it doesn't stop in retirement. I mean, I have children, so I see she has children, and I just hope that her family can come together, extended family, and work through this and help her children through this.
About 200 people were in attendance to honor Deputy Muscle. You can watch the full ceremony on our YouTube and Facebook page right now. Right now at 5:30, a couple of big cases return to court today, including the man accused of a deadly attack in Rockford. And the big question, will he be fit to stand trial? We'll break down what's in store later this morning. Plus, honoring EMS workers, our Dylan Valencia shows us what it takes for our first responders to answer the critical calls.
And clear skies. skies. Join us for our Thursday as we continue to warm things up back into the 80s. Sure going to feel like summer. Enjoy it while it lasts. Things are going to quickly change once we get into our Friday. I'll have those details in your forecast.
Claudia, thank you. Now to your top stories at 6. Later this morning, we could soon find out if the man accused of carrying out a deadly attack in Rockford will be able to stand trial. 22-year-old Christian Soto is facing multiple charges after a violent attack unfolded back in March. Community members were shaken up and continue to process the loss of Ramona and Jacob Schubach, Jay Larson, and 50-year-old Jenna Newcomb. Police have yet to figure out a motive behind that attack. The court will be presented the results of a fitness exam this morning at 8:30. Be sure to stay with us for continuing coverage on air and online. And happening tonight, the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office could get some brand new license plate readers. The county could sign a 5-year contract with Flock Safety. They're an Atlanta-based company. The new tech could help deputies with their investigative work by capturing license plate data in real time. Now, here's the price tag. It would cost about $174,000 for the first year and about $136,000 for each year after that. The full Winnebago County Board will vote on it tonight. We'll have continuing coverage on 13 News at 10. And right now, men and women who dedicate their lives to helping others in a time of emergency are receiving recognition for their vital efforts.
This year we commemorate the 50th anniversary of EMS Week with the theme Honoring Our Past, Forging Our Future, which reminds us to recognize those pioneers who came before us, helping build the foundation and paving the way for continued growth and innovation as we look to the future.
And here in the State Line, we're getting a closer look at what it takes to walk in their shoes each and every day. Dylan Valencia joins us in studio with more.
Yeah, that's right, Manuel. EMS Week runs from May 19th until the 25th, and this morning we're honored to be able to show you all the hard work that goes into being a first responder and what it means to be the difference in saving a life. I learned from Boone County Fire Protection District 2 what that means to be an EMS worker. Take a look.
People don't really think about that there's two positions sometimes in a fire station. You get the firefighters that go out and do certain aspects where the EMS do a different aspect, and they're with the patient a lot longer than the fire side is.
The station has fully new renovated quarters for their EMS workers as they continue to expand their new fleet and ambulance service. Claudia, I'll send it over to you.
Right now at 6, we're watching out for our air quality this morning as that smoke from the ongoing wildfires continues to impact sensitive groups. We'll have the details ahead in your forecast.
We've had several shootings in the past couple of years, and it's challenging. We have to get a handle on this, and we have to make some changes.
That's the kind of trouble that drives people away.
Plus, another shooting hitting close to home, this time in downtown Rockford. What we now know after a 24-year-old was killed.
Really need the support, we really need, I feel like people may have forgotten about South America.
By the fact that that building has been such an eyesore for about 30 years, and we had hope.
We've missed some opportunities along the line. We have an opportunity before us today.
And another chance for one of Rockford's biggest development projects, a closer look at what's at stake for Barbara Coleman ahead of a crucial vote among city leaders.
From 13 WREX, your weather authority, this is 13 News Today.
Good morning and welcome to 13 News Today. I'm Manny Slipping-On.
Good morning. It's Monday, July 17th. I'm Claudia Olak.
Welcome back, Claudia. Hope you had an amazing weekend. Crazy week last week. We saw some severe weather, a little bit of rain. What's the day looking like?
Well, a little opposite of that, I'd say. Lots of sunshine. We're staying dry to kick off our week. Just a little hazier this morning. I'll break down all the details coming up in your forecast, Manny.
There's often noise outside at that time of the morning, or shortly after the bars close. And there's been a history of that the last several weeks, especially down around this intersection.
I think there are things each of us can do, whether we operate a bar or whether we have a large number of tenants. We all have a role to play in this, and we can fix this.
We begin our top stories this half hour in Rockford. Another shooting turns deadly, taking the life of a 24-year-old man. The the third one since Friday. Now take a look at this map. Rockford police responded to the 200 block of West State Street Sunday morning. That's near the Luther Center, a senior living apartment complex. Also on that same morning, a shooting left a girl with gunshot wounds on Kishwaukee Street, and another one just this last Friday left a 41-year-old man dead on Elm Street. And in the past week, a man suffered several gunshot wounds on Wednesday on Revel Avenue. Back to that shooting on West State Street, Rockford police tweeted after 5 a.m. Sunday, a 24-year-old man was suffering from a life-threatening gunshot wound and was taken to the hospital. 4 hours later, police confirmed he died from his injuries. And this morning, we're hearing from nearby land property owners about their experiences about the frequent cases of gun violence.
We've been here 17 and a half years. We've never had a problem before until the last couple of years. And we had a shooting this spring that took out 3 of our windows and a window at the Luther Center. All of that physical damage from that injury is gone. But we have to find a solution to this.
The identity of the 24-year-old has not been revealed at this time. Right now, power has been restored to the Winnebago County Courthouse after a power outage caused a generator to start smoking. According to Rockford Fire District Chief, there was not a fire involved, but the courthouse lost power, kicking on their diesel generator. It then began to smoke, which led many people to see a haze outside their windows. Some even had to be rescued. Court operations are set to be back to normal this morning.
Change that is happening is change for the better. We don't have to be afraid to fly. We don't have to be afraid to want better for ourselves and for our children, for our families.
Rockford has demonstrated what I have always known, that we can accomplish nothing divided, but everything together.
Now to our big story this half hour. City leaders in Rockford have another night ahead of them as their vote could potentially reverse last week's decision for the redevelopment of Barbara Coleman.
In a 7-6 vote, Rockford aldermen approved a mandated project agreement, which had some say would kill the deal for developers to move forward with the project. Now there's a chance that decision may flip.
That's right. Claudio 14th Ward Alderman Mark Bonney told 13 WREX he would file a motion to reconsider. In other words, the council would redo that vote, but this time around, 7th Ward Alderman Janisa Wilkins may be present and could deadlock the vote at 7-7. The tie-breaking vote would go to Mayor Tom McNamara. Now, with that potential of a redo, city officials and community members are calling for unity, including 5th Ward Alderwoman Gabrielle Torina.
We need to show solidarity for this project. Let's make a ring around City Council to show solidarity and unity in this. And again, continue to apply pressure on those aldermen that said no. We have to get them to change their vote to get this to happen. And I believe that that's absolutely going to be the case.
The potential revote happening tonight will be at the City Council meeting starting at 5:45.
Be sure you're staying tuned both on air and online as we provide you the latest updates.
A million red flags. Things have been slow as far as freight goes this year to begin with. And basically it was just kind of the way they've been operating that are telltale signs that this was possibly going to happen.
We begin our top stories this half hour with developing news over the last 48 hours involving one of the country's biggest trucking companies. I'm Dylan Valencia.
And I'm Claudia Olak. According to employees of Yellow, there wasn't a warning of a shutdown. This potentially leaving 30,000 people out of a job, including 100 in the state line.
Yeah, according to the Teamsters Union, they received a legal notice confirming Yellow was stopping operations and filing for bankruptcy after 99 years. The company offering lower rates in truck freight to major retailers, but recently has been struggling to turn a profit. As of late March, Yellow had an outstanding debt of $1.5 billion. Of that, $729 million was owed to the federal government, according to the Associated Press. And just last week, Yellow averted a strike from Teamsters amid heated negotiations revolving around health care benefits.
And this morning, we hear from one local employee of 12 years, recounting the moments he received the call that the gates were closed, leaving him with more questions than answers.
It's very upsetting. It's not a job that I wanted to give up, but it's, wasn't necessarily my choice to begin with.
Right now, no bankruptcy filings from the company have been released, according to the Securities and Exchange Commission's website.
They call it Super Tuesday for a reason. This is a big one.
And a historic rematch underway after Biden and Trump dominated the polls last night. The election authority is breaking down the results from Super Tuesday.
Plus, a closer look at the resources available now to help Latino families unlock the doors to their new dream home.
And Wednesday morning brings us more cloud cover this morning. You could see just a little bit of peaks of sunshine. We will see the sun later before another system joins us by the end of the week. Stay tuned for those details ahead in your forecast.
Committed to covering communities across the state line. Live from your weather authority. This is 13 News Today.
And we have breaking news right into our newsroom. Nikki Haley just announcing that she will drop out of the 2024 presidential race. This comes after losing in every state but Vermont during Super Tuesday voting. This announcement will now bring the Republican nomination to former President Trump and effectively kicks off the general election. We'll have more details this on 13 News Midday. Meanwhile, results are rolling in for Super Tuesday. It's the biggest delegate grab in primary season, and voters in more than a dozen states and one territory are making their voices heard with their primary ballots for president and members of Congress. President Biden and former President Trump are getting closer to a rematch after securing big wins across the board. Trump is celebrating victories from Virginia to Texas. Meanwhile, President Biden scored a few states, including Iowa and Minnesota. Last night, he released a statement calling for Americans to not go backwards with references to Trump's presidency. Be sure to stay with us as we continue to track more projected wins, and closer to home, the Winnebago County Clerk will have a public test of their voting machines before the Illinois primary. It's happening at 10 a.m. tomorrow at the Winnebago County Administration Building. Now, this testing is required by the Illinois Attorney General's office for every election. Those who plan on voting in the primary election are more than welcome to come and check out that testing. Thanks for joining us. I'm Manny Slopinan. Today kicks off a variety of celebrations. For some, it's Mardi Gras or Fat Tuesday. For many in the Polish community, local bakeries will be making pączki. Claudia is joining us live from McChesney Park to show us how the traditional dessert is made. She may know a thing or two about them. Good morning, Claudia.
Good morning, Manny. I am live here in By the Dozen in McChesney Park with our very own Dylan Valencia as well, just in time for Fat Tuesday. So many things to celebrate for today. It's the last Tuesday before Ash Wednesday, so get in all the goodies and fats before we end up starting that Lent season. So you can already see there is a line behind us, opened up right at 6 o'clock, so already getting a lot of those orders completed, coming in big boxes. So early this morning, already flying out the door. And those pączki are, of course, the deep fried donuts that are filled. There's 13 flavors here and so many to go around. I'm really excited to try some. Dylan and I will also be making some as well. Growing up, I come from a Polish family, so I always ate pączki, and I'm really excited to make some. Got the traditional, got the raspberry, blueberry, apricot. I mean, you name it. So many flavors to go around. So we're going to be here live for the rest of our show. We're going to break down all the details on how we make them and what they taste like. Of course, we're going to try them as well. And luckily, the weather isn't going to slow you down today.
Claudia, you know it's a good morning when we start off our show talking about food.
Absolutely, Manny. Yesterday, we had some vegan food. That was delicious, of course, but now we get to try some grilled cheeses and more.
Claudia, I don't know about you, but I'm ready. Our Dylan Valencia is live inside Cheesy's Grilled Cheeses on 11th Street. Dylan, good morning. Tell us the twist on these classic sandwiches.
Claudia, Manny, you said it. We love to start off talking about food, and I agree with you. I just took some bites of the Philly, Chipotle Philly, and now this is the big cheesy with garlic fries. We are here live at Cheesy's Grilled Cheeses. You might have seen their food truck around town and at City Market. Now they are here in their own restaurant at their own location. I will be here all morning digging into these amazing, delicious meals. And actually, earlier you saw me take a bite of this one right here, the class. And we are thankful to be here with Cheesy's Grilled Cheeses cheeses all morning. And again, you could vote online for your favorite restaurant on our website, WREX.com. We have all those details there for you. I will check in just a few minutes with both of you guys as I talk to both of their owners here at Cheese's Grilled Cheeses to learn about their stories, their success stories, and also what goes into the minds of all of these grilled cheeses, because truly they're the best ones I've ever tried. For now, I'll send it back to you guys.
And new this morning, downtown Beloit will soon be the home of a new entertainment venue.
I'm excited, Claudia, because construction is already underway for Henry Doorbakers. The venue, named after Beloit's first bowling alley owner, will bring vintage charm of the Ironworks campus with a modern twist for guests.
The 20,000 square foot facility will be located on Spine Road near the Rock River.
The venue plans to revamp the entertainment scene with duck pin bowling, vintage arcade games, and a lively bar scene. Visitors can expect the venue to open by the end of this year. We'll check back to track that progress of construction. Until then. Good. That's right. That's right. Good memories. I hope everyone has some good memories of this board game. Welcome back. It may be hard to find someone who hasn't played Monopoly, but you may find even fewer people who know the true origins of this game.
Our very own William Ingalls found those roots right here in Illinois.
You can find our full story on our website at WREX.com. In the meantime, Claudia has some debts to pay over. We'll be right back.